It wasn't easy to find a corner to film here today. The farmers are preparing the fields here now, so they are going around like crazy with their machines, and it is very loud. But here it is relatively calm. I hope you can hear me well. And I also use this mic that it hopefully gets a better audio. We will see, otherwise I take the camera tone. So welcome friends to my little Q&A, actually my first one. And I apologize that I asked for a question so late. I don't know, I forgot about it somehow, but I think we gathered enough anyways. So let's start. And if you maybe have more questions, you can always ask. I will answer them in the comments or in the next videos. So the first question comes from Ahmad Fauzi. I hope I pronounce your name right. I don't think so, but I apologize. And he asks, are there wild animals in the forest, like bears and elks? So, no, actually not here in Germany. It's unfortunate because bears are basically extincted in these regions here in Germany because they were hunted like crazy in medieval ages, so they don't exist here anymore. Sometimes there are bears coming through this area. They are more traveling through it from Croatia, Austria, or other countries, or the Czech Republic basically, and they just come through this region to go somewhere else. But there are no bears at home here. The same thing with wolves. Some wolves are living in Bavaria, but not as many as back in the days. You maybe know all the German fairy tales with the bad wolf who is eating Little Red Riding Hood and her grandmother, or the little goats, and therefore a lot of people are afraid here because of the wolves. But I don't think that wolves are dangerous for humans actually. They just eat the calves and the sheep, but they don't attack humans, so it's kind of irrational, but the people are afraid here. And you also asked about the elks. We never had elks here actually. They are more in Scandinavia, so no elks. Then we have a lot of questions asked by Majid Forex. Thank you a lot for asking all these beautiful questions. They are very good and I'm happy to answer them now. So his first question is, are you a geography student? Why do you like geography? Yes, I study geography and German studies to become a high school teacher one day. So I basically do a geography bachelor and a German study bachelor, and in the end I am a teacher, kind of. And I also have like courses especially for teachers, like psychology and yeah, all that stuff. I love geography, and that's basically also why I study it. It is very interesting. You get an idea about how the world is functioning. So geography isn't only about the countries and maps and all that. Of course, it's a big part of it, but also there are like politics and social science, social studies, and how countries interact with each other. Also all the nature sciences like physics, chemistry, and how the planets were created in the universe and how they came to be. So yeah, it's super interesting. You see, I am very passionate about it. Next question. You are always alone. Do you have no girlfriend except Kim? Or do you like to be in nature more often than with your friends? Yes, it's true. You mostly see me alone in my videos, and well, that doesn't have to do with me not having any friends or something like that, because I have a lot of friends actually. No one is gonna believe me now when I say it that way. Well, but I do actually. So we just do other things together, like going to a bar or a club in the evening, just talking, sometimes going into the mountains or meeting at a lake to go swimming, these kind of things. Do you go to church? What do you think about religion in general? So I am not as often going to church anymore now as I did as a child. And about religion, well, I'm very open about it. Let's say it that way. I think all religions are very, very interesting. Like, I love to read about Buddhism and especially paganism also. It's also very interesting because it's the ancient religion of this part of the world. And I love the theory of it. I love the old books, everything. But yeah, I grew up as a Catholic Christian and I had a wonderful childhood, and church was always very fun, and yeah, it was just the culture here in this village. Is it true that German people are secluded and do not like to associate with foreigners? I don't think so. I have to say, but I can understand that it comes across that way. I explain. So German people are a little bit shy and not as chatty as peoples of other cultures. Like in the US, people on the street are very chatty and friendly and talk to you. It's a wonderful thing also in other European countries. It's more common that way, but here in Germany, Germans are very shy. When they are on the street, they always want to mind their business and just go their way. Yeah, I think we should change that. So I think that is why it can come across that way, but most Germans don't have anything against foreigners. So no, of course, there are some people, but let's not talk about them. They are a minority, fortunately. So most people do like foreigners in their heart, but they can't express. In German culture, is money better or science? Is a rich person more respected or a scientist or a writer? I think equally, actually. I don't think that there's a difference. People are impressed if someone has money. People are impressed if someone is a scientist or a writer or has a very special career. So yeah, it's equal, I would say. I think in Europe, Germans have the longest life expectancy. What is the secret? I'm not sure if we're with the longest life expectancy. I think we have a long one, but places in Italy are actually better. Not the whole country, but some places in the south of Italy, where they are following a strict Mediterranean diet with lots of fruits and veggies and fish. The people are very healthy there. In Germany, I think it's mostly due to the good healthcare system. Germans are not living very healthy traditionally. Well, it changes today with all the health trends, but back in the days, especially when my parents were little and grew up, it wasn't that healthy. What you can say is that Germans are overall very sportive. Maybe that is a case. But the diet, you can look up basically every German recipe and it's fat and dough and sugar and it's not that healthy. I feel like you always want to help others. You always introduce to us other people's YouTube channels. Now I have it. But they do not introduce your YouTube channel to others. Don't you think this good work should be reciprocal? I introduce to you a lot of other YouTube channels, mostly because I think you would enjoy them too. So I want to share them because I think you would like the videos. That's the first case why I'm sharing them. And second is because I want to help the creators. they are sometimes smaller than me, so I really want to help them to get more views and subscribers, because it's not that easy to grow on YouTube. So I want to help a little bit as far as I can. Do I think this should be rewarded or reciprocal? I know what this word means, but I can't pronounce it, I think. It would be nice, of course, if they would also share my stuff someday, but they don't have to, because, as I said, in the first place, I want to introduce you to new content you might enjoy. Why are there wooden planks around the trunks of apple trees in your village? I think you're referring to the video where I harvested the apples. So the tree planks are actually there because of the cows. There are always cows on the field, and when the trees are still little and not so strong, they would maybe destroy them by rubbing their back on the trunk and eating something on the trunk, I don't know. So they put it there so the cows can't destroy the trees. What are the agricultural products of your area? It is dairy. So it is too cold here near the Alps for like crops and that stuff, so they mostly produce dairy and have cows, and we have, like, you can see in my drone footage all this green grassland. So that's what they do there, and that's what they are preparing now with all the machines going around. I hope you can't hear them still. I wanted to create this beautiful forest atmosphere, and now I'm in the middle of a field work. Tell us about your grandpa and grandma. What was their jobs in the past? So with my grandma it's easy. She was an accountant, and my grandfather first was trained as a glass blower, I think it's called. So the people that are making glass products from hand. Then there was a phase when my grandpa and my grandma were freshly married, where they had a little company. So they produced glass parts for lamps, like the chandeliers, and they sold them in Italy, where they were put together to be a chandelier. So they did the little glass pearls. And they had a little company in our village, in a house where my grandma was doing the accountant stuff and my grandfather was producing the glass pearls. And I think he also had an employee. I'm not sure about that. But they were doing that for some years, and after that my grandpa became a company representative. I had to read this for several companies. So guys, as this video would have been super long otherwise, I decided to split it into 2 parts. So the next part of the Q&A will be out on the weekend, I think Saturday or Sunday. I have to see when I upload it. And well, I would say till then, I hope you enjoyed hearing about my thoughts and about the wonderful questions you asked. Thank you again. And we will see us on Saturday, Sunday. Till then, have a great time.